Waz D Scene, people. This is Matthew, and this is another episode of Waz D Scene. And today I have a special movie review for y'all. A rather personal one at that. See, back in the mid-90s when I was still in primary school, and this was like a couple of weeks before Christmas, I managed to see a particular movie on television. Now, back in my time, the only place on TV that you could have gotten to see Kung Fu flicks, or kick-ups as we call them down here in Trinidad and Tobago, was on AVM channels 4 and 16. And normally you would see these movies between 1 to 3 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. Now, while you think that in my childhood I would have gotten to see the classics from guys like Gordon Liu, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, etc., etc., instead I saw like these D-grade 80s Shaolin and Ninja movies with titles like Silver Dragon Ninja,
Silver Dragon Ninja, corrupt police, and beautiful sexy agents are but unwilling pawns in this game of deadly manipulation.
and Clash of the Ninjas.
Clash of the Ninja, a unique tale of a brutal trade thriving in the Far East.
But this one particular kick-up was one of the oddest, weirdest ones I've ever seen in my life. And it was also rather depressing though, or at least I came out of it feeling rather depressed. And for years, this movie just lingered into my mind. But here's the problem. I just could not remember the name of the damn movie. Until recently, when I started reading a particular book called The Encyclopedia of Martial Arts Movies. I'll put the Amazon link to that below in the description here. And I told myself, maybe that book could help answer that question that has been haunting me for so much years. What was the name of that movie? Sure enough, the book answered it. Yes, I actually found the title of that movie. And the name of that movie was Firefist of the Incredible Dragon. Why it wasn't called Fist of the Invincible Dragon, I don't know. Maybe it was some copyright issues, I don't know, whatever, right? Moving along. So now that I had the title to this movie solved for me now, ask myself another question. Where can I see this movie? Where can I see this movie that has haunted me for so much years? And sure enough, I found the movie. It's currently on YouTube right now. So yes, folks, if you were to search Firefist of the Incredible Dragon right now on YouTube, you'd find the full movie for this. Now, before you pause this video, I have to warn you, I just have to say this right now. Do not, under any circumstances, watch this movie. Why, you may ask? Because it sucks, that's why. Now, before I get to the actual review, I just have to clarify one thing. Now, it's not like the full movie was hardwired into my brain when I first saw it. There were particular shots, certain elements that just lodged themselves into my brain. And one of these elements was this supernatural element. This deadly flying object. Now, no, it's not the flying guillotine for you kung fu heads out there. And if you haven't seen Massive Flying Guillotine, folks, please watch it. It's kick-ass, you'll love it. Now, when I was reminded of the title of this movie, I was telling myself, okay, so that flying thing there was a fist. Because I remember it being some part of the human body or something like that. I know it's weird. It will make sense, kind of. But that was what I remembered seeing. And then when I actually saw the movie itself, I was reminded that it's not a human hand. No, sir. It's a human heart. Yes, ladies and gents. This movie has a human beating heart that flies around and kills people. Master of the Flying Guillotine, this is not. Now, right off the bat, this movie looks god awful. The video quality is so poor that it's hard to really make out what's going on in many scenes in the damn movie. Even worse, the dubbing is laughably bad and ridiculously off sync. Now look at this interrogation scene here, for example. Oh, and take note of the bald-headed thug right there. This guy clearly has problems making decisions.
I know that a young man lives in here. Get him to come out at once. Otherwise, you'll be sorry.
Oh.
You, I warn you again. Get him out, Within 3 days. Come on.
Anywho, Firefist centers on Kun Kun. That's this lady that you're seeing here performing magic tricks in front of that crowd. The thugs who trying to take advantage of her work for Lao Wu Hing. He's this rich guy whose hobbies apparently include kidnapping, raping, and killing young women. I saw this when I was in primary school. Now his trustworthy servant tells Lao that the girl doing the magic is actually a girl named Shushu. And then we get our first major plot reveal.
Just now in town, I saw Shushu, I'm sure of it.
That's impossible.
But I'm very sure.
But you told me you had buried her.
That's right. I did it myself.
So he heads to the woods where the thugs normally dump the bodies of the dead girls. And surprise, surprise, Shushu's corpse isn't there. Whilst walking back home, the bodies of the men, who I assume were the ones who got sonic boomed by the heart in the intro, I think, fall from the trees. The servant tells Lao about what happened. He also mentions that he recently noticed a suspicious looking guard in the woods. Now, unlike the bald-headed thug from before, Lao is the type of guy who likes to take his time before making a decision.
Reinforce the guard, Martin.
Reinforce the guard, my what? My youth? My G? My what? Then we cut to Kun Kun and the suspicious looking guard. Trust me, you can't make them out in this shitty video quality, but it's them, trust me. Trying to escape from the province, I think it is. Now the thugs give chase while holding torches. And I love how even though they vastly outnumber the couple, they still find it difficult to even grab them. Luckily, Kun Kun and the guard escape. Yay!
Where are they?
They got away, come on.
Afterwards, we learn from the couple's conversation that Kun Kun's sister has gone missing. They both suspect Lao had something to do with that. Later, they visit Kun Kun's uncle. Suddenly, he finds out that his wife went missing as well. The guard offers his services to find her. And this next scene, matter of fact, just watch this. Just watch this. I really don't know what to say for this one. You know? I really don't.
Why do you come here anyway?
And then the mediocrity continues.
You better let me through. Ask Lao then to come out here. Are you looking for trouble or something? Yeah, you really want to fight, huh?
From a choreography standpoint, the fight scenes in this movie are pretty standard. I mean, they're not mind-blowing or memorable. They're just basic, really. It's a shame, however, that they're hard to enjoy thanks to the out-of-sync audio. Unfortunately, Starboy gets beaten up and the bad guy is taken prisoner. Kun Kun is captured by the thugs and carried into the forest to bury her alive or something. I don't know. And then they find themselves lost. The same f***ers who recently went to the woods to look for Shushu's corpse and found their way back home are lost. Anyway, one of the dumbasses is sent out to look for help. He notices a girl prepping to hang herself. He beckons her down and then, holy shitty makeup! The other dumbasses are confronted by a ghost who I assume is Shushu, but then through the power of cheap VFX, reveals herself to be Kun Kun. The dumbasses leave Kun Kun's body as they flee from the ghost. Kun Kun wakes up at a campsite, and here we're introduced to this vagrant looking motherfucker.
I'm just a tired old cripple whose time is...
Holy shitty makeup! And then we get our first and only flashback scene. Kun Kun's pregnant sister and her husband were walking one day. Two bandits suddenly attack them. The husband is beaten up and knocked out, and the wife is raped by who I assume is Lao. I saw this when I was in primary school. And then in this excruciatingly long scene, Kun Kun's sister tries to end it all.
Where are you?
Oh, this scene. Unfortunately, she dies. Now, this whole entire scene was one of the moments that truly depressed me when I first saw the movie. Not disturbed, mind you, depressed. Because I mean, I've never seen anything like that in a Kung Fu movie. And the thing about it is, like, looking at it now, it is terrible. You know, what happened to that girl is terrible. I mean, there's no denying that. But just that whole sequence alone is terrible. Because mainly, the whole movie pretty much started off as this kind of goofy mix of horror and ghost story cliches mixed with martial arts elements. And all of a sudden you just drop this like unexpected rape fantasy mixed with soap opera level melodrama, and you're expecting the audience to buy into it. You're expecting the audience to like genuinely care about what happened. Like, don't get me wrong, what happened to the girl is awful, it's horrible. But still, you just dropped this on our lap and you just shifted the tone of the movie so abruptly, it's hard for us to really like connect with what's going on. Anywho, the old cripple leads Kun Kun to a cave where he buried his sister, and wait now. And he just say he was a cripple?
I'm just a tired old cripple.
And then Kun Kun makes a solemn vow to revenge for you.
I'll revenge for you. I promise you I'll revenge, sister.
Back at Lao's crib, Lao hears some female moans, and then this happens.
No! Ah!
Lao's wife takes a bath, and then she hears a weird wailing from outside. Then the heart appears, and Sonic booms her womb or some shit. She goes back to bed, and this happens. And this next sequence, boy, I really don't know, yes? Jesus Christ, 42 minutes into the people in that movie, and you know decide to throw, oh my god, like I totally just had a nightmare cliche into your movie? Ja boy. Lao then hires a Taoist priest and his apprentice to cleanse their home of evil supernatural elements. Elsewhere, two guys who are now being introduced into the movie spot the flying hat, which flies its way into a scare room. This is not scary at all. They make a report to the authorities. Of course, they think they're on shit, until they themselves confront the Heart, who decides to just attack this guy out of everyone else. The Heart continues its bloody massacre, which leads to the greatest death scene this movie has to offer. Back at Lao's crib, Kun Kun, who's pretty much been ignored since she vowed to revenge for you, starts kicking ass in an outer sync fashion. Meanwhile, the priestess apprentice spies on Lao's wife having non-nude sex with the trustworthy servant. Aw, shit! The apprentice tries to escape, but he's confronted by the servant. With some verbal encouragement from Lao's wife, the servant kills the apprentice. The priest prays for revenge, and after a kinda decent psychedelic sequence, the flying hat inhabits or revives, I'm not too sure exactly, the dead apprentice. And then we finally hear the spirit of the heart speak.
You have committed adultery with Yang Qi and want to take Liao's place, and it's disgusting. I hate this kind of thing. I really do.
Homeboy starts cleaning house, beating the shit out of Lao's goons. And he kills the servant. Well done. Meanwhile, Kun Kun finds her friend tied up and frees him. They confront Lao, and the final fight this movie has to offer commences. After what feels like forever, this happens. Followed by... And how the he get there all of a sudden? Conveniently, our fighters find their way into the same cave where Kunku's sister was buried. The old cripple creeps up behind the bad guy and picks a fight with him. And then this happens. As the cave crumbles, the cripple tries desperately to prevent Lau from escaping. Eventually, the rubble overpowers the two of them, killing Lau in the process. Our heroes attempt to free the cripple, and then...
Ming Hao!
Alive.
Ming Hao!
Yep, it just so happens that the cripple was actually Kun Kun's brother-in-law, wearing a wig and shitty makeup. Hold up. Hold the f up. Hold up. You telling me that in a genre where it's been scientifically proven that crippled motherfuckers could somehow find a way to learn how to fight and kick ass and exact their revenge on the people who crippled them, gives us this character who is crippled, and as opposed to him learning how to fight despite his disabilities and exacting revenge on the same people who raped and killed your wife, opts to just put on a shitty wig, put on shitty makeup, go in some cave, mope for the rest of your life, watch snow fall, count icicles and shit, and then just wait for somebody to just come along, and then he just tells him this story. And in this case, it just so happens to be a sister-in-law, and she just ends up doing all the work for you. Anywho, our heroes exit the cave, tired and defeated. But not before Kun Kun yells. And then we end on this excruciatingly long freeze frame. And then the heart is superimposed onto this shot. And it explodes. What does that even mean? What kind of ending was that? It's amazing that a movie like this, a movie so bad, managed to stick itself into my subconscious for all these years. Now, having seen this movie with mature eyes, and having seen so much more infinitely superior Kung Fu movies over the years, I can easily say without a shadow of a doubt that is one of, if not the worst martial arts movies I have ever seen in my life. I give this rotten corpse of a movie half of a star out of 5. So yes folks, thank you so much for sticking around with this video here. This was like a cathartic, video here, just getting this movie out of my chest, and now I just don't have to worry about it ever again, because yes, this movie sucked and nobody should ever see it. And on the subject of that, feel free to let me know what was the strangest, weirdest, most bizarre thing you saw in your childhood on television, whether it was a movie, whether it was a TV show, it could be a cartoon, it could even be a commercial, comment below and let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel here, look out for more stuff from DF Studios Limited. And also don't forget to like and share this video as well, show the support, show some love, and keep supporting great movies as well. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So once again guys, this is Matthew. Thank you so much for watching this video. And don't let old cripples with shitty makeup and shitty wigs ruin your Christmas. Feliz Navidad.